All right, in this video, I have to find the slope-intercept equation for two lines, and in each case, I'm either dealing with a parallel or a perpendicular line. So in the first one here, it says find the slope-intercept equation of the line containing the given point. That would be negative 6, 2, and parallel to the given line. So first of all, if I'm going to write an equation for a line, I know I'm going to need the point-slope form of a line, which is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. And so I have a point, I just need the slope. Well, I don't have the slope, but I have a line that's parallel to the line that I need to write this equation for. And so if I know its slope, I know the slope of my line. And so I'm going to solve this equation for y so I know what the slope is. So we'll subtract 3x on both parts, or both sides, and we get negative 9y is equal to negative 3x plus 2. And then we're going to need to divide each side by negative 9. So now we have y by itself. Now negative 3 divided by negative 9, we know a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so 3/9 reduces to 1/3, and we get 1/3 x. And then that'll be plus 2 over negative 9, which we'll write as minus 2/9. So basically, we can break this down into two fractions. Hopefully you recall how we do that. Okay, so the thing is, this is not the line I'm writing the equation for. It's parallel to my line. I just need the slope from this line, which is 1/3. And so now I can use 1/3 with the given point they gave us. So let's go ahead and plug that in. We have y minus, let's call our point negative 6, 2, x sub 1 and y sub 1. And so we have y minus 2 is equal to the slope, which is 1/3, times x minus negative 6. Now I'm going to go ahead and change that x minus negative 6 to an x plus 6. And then I need to distribute the 1/3. So the y minus 2 stays the same, and we have 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. And 1/3 times 6, well, let's see, 1/3 of 6 would be 2. If you wanted to, you could do the math off to the side. You have 1/3 times 6. Let's write the 6 over 1. When you multiply across, you get 6 over 3, which is 2. And so you can see that 2 is correct. Let's go ahead and move this over here. The only thing left to do is to add 2 to both sides. And now we have y equals 1/3 x plus 4. And so this is the line that goes through negative 6, 2, and has the same slope as this line here. They're parallel. All right, so I would encourage you to try number 7. It's quite similar, except for you need to know what slopes of perpendicular lines look like. All right, let's see how you did. So again, I'm going to write the slope or point slope form. Oops, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So I've got a point that goes through the line for which I'm looking for an equation, and I need the slope. What I have is a line that's perpendicular to my line for which I'm finding an equation. So if I could find the slope of this line, I'm going to know the slope of my line. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 5x on both sides because I'm trying to get that 2y term by itself. So we have negative 2y is equal to negative 5x plus 4. Let's divide each side by negative 2. We're going to get y equals, let's see, that's going to be 5 halves x plus a negative 2, which we'll write as minus 2. So again, all I'm interested in here is the slope. This line has a slope of 5 halves, so any line that's perpendicular to this line will have a slope. Let's see, remember it's flipped and you change the sign, and so it's going to be negative 2/5. And so now we can use negative 2/5 as slope with our point negative 3, negative 5. And so this is going to be y minus, let's see, y minus negative 5 is equal to our slope, negative 2/5 times x minus negative 3. And we could change this to y plus 5 is equal to negative 2/5 times the quantity x plus 3. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and distribute on the right side. We're going to get y plus 5 is equal to negative 2/5 x. And I'm going to have to multiply negative 2/5 times 3. So let's do that off to the side. When you do that, you get negative 6 over 5. So this will be minus 6/5. So let me go ahead and move this over to the right. And the only thing left to do is add 5 to both sides. So on the left we have y is equal to negative 2/5 x. And then negative 6/5 minus 5. Well, the way that you would do that is, well, let's see, let's go ahead and write negative 6/5, and we're going to subtract 5. Well, 5, I'm going to write it as 5 over 1 because I need to change this so that this fraction has a denominator of 5. And so I'm multiplying the denominator by 5. That means I need to multiply the numerator by 5. And I get 25/5. And so since we're subtracting 5, it'll be minus 25/5. Notice that's still 5. And when we combine these together, negative 6 minus 25, we're going to get negative 31/5. And so we get minus 31/5. And you know, it's really important, or it's a good thing to be able to do this fraction arithmetic relatively quickly. So it's something to work at. But at the same time, if you're struggling with that, I would encourage you to just put in negative 6/5 minus 5, but put your negative 6/5 in parentheses as negative 6 divide 5, again in parentheses, minus 5. And then when you hit enter, you're going to get a decimal. Then you hit math. And the first option is fraction. You just hit enter twice, and you'll get your minus 31/5. All right, so that's the end of this video.